Do you find that you get really sleepy around a certain time in the evening, but as soon as bedtime approaches, or if you go to bed later at night, you've lost that sense of sleepiness and you feel wide awake and you struggle to fall back to sleep? If so, this isn't that uncommon and it's usually a sign of conditioned arousal. I'm going to be talking about this in today's video. Hi, I'm Martin Reed. If you have insomnia, I offer sleep coaching programs that will give you all the skills and support you need to enjoy better sleep for the rest of your life. You can learn more at insomniacoach.com. Sometimes when I'm working with clients, they'll tell me that they feel sleepy around 8-9 o'clock at night, but then when it's time for bed, they feel wide awake and they struggle to sleep. Another way I hear this described is if they miss this window of sleepiness, then they no longer feel sleepy for the rest of the night. Now, in itself, this is not actually that unusual, and it's typically a sign of conditioned arousal. If you've been living with insomnia for a long period of time, you've probably learned that the bed is not a very pleasant place to be. It's a place where you spend a lot of time wide awake, tossing and turning, feeling frustrated, worried, maybe anxious about sleep. So what happens is, because of this repeated exposure to all this negativity in bed, you've learned that the bed is a place where all this negativity happens. So when you know you're not going to be getting into bed anytime soon, you feel sleepy because you're feeling relaxed and you're recognizing all the cues for sleepiness. However, as soon as the bedtime approaches, you realize that soon you'll be getting into that bed, that place that you've associated with all these negative emotions. And in a flash, all of that sleepiness is gone. And this is completely normal and to be expected. When we're exposed to this negative experience over and over again, it's natural that we're not going to feel sleepy and relaxed in that kind of environment. So the solution to this is to implement cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBT-I techniques, because they help address this arousal, this conditioned arousal specifically. So the way it works is, first of all, you follow a regular and appropriate sleep window that matches the amount of sleep you typically get on an average night at the current time. This helps ensure enough sleep drive builds, and this sleep drive helps weaken the arousal system. In other words, the stronger your sleep drive, the more sleepy you are, the less power your arousal system has over you. The second CBT-I technique that really helps tackle this high level of arousal, this hyperarousal and conditioned arousal in particular, is a technique known as stimulus control. Now, this involves getting out of bed when you can't sleep. So for example, let's say you go to bed and you struggle to fall asleep, you're feeling wide awake and alert, and you just do not feel sleepy. Well, in that case, you get out of bed and you wait until you feel relaxed and sleepy again before returning to bed and repeating the process. Now, what this does is it prevents you from reinforcing this negative association between the bed and wakefulness. What it does is make sure that the only thing you do in bed is sleep. So the only way we can do this is by being out of bed whenever we're not asleep. Now, this is a long-term strategy. It doesn't work the night you implement it, and it usually doesn't work the first few nights you implement it. It takes a number of weeks to address this conditioned arousal, and we do this through repeatedly getting out of bed whenever we can't sleep. Just as it took time for insomnia to develop and for you to learn to see the bed as a negative place to be, it will take time for you to relearn that the bed is a place for sleep. So it's a tough technique to implement, but if you implement it consistently and correctly, then over time that conditioned arousal will become weaker and weaker. And as your sleep starts to improve, you'll start to feel more confident in your ability to sleep in bed, and you'll start to reassociate the bed with sleep. And this will lead to more signs of sleepiness as bedtime approaches, and over time you'll find it easier to fall asleep, and you'll find it easier to fall back to sleep when you wake during the night. So I hope you found this short video helpful. If you did, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. I try and share a short sleep snippet video every weekday. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, or suggestions for a future video, please leave a comment below, or you can email me directly. My email address is hello@insomniacoach.com. I hope to see you back here again soon, and remember, you can sleep.